was finna stop taking pictures with homosexual individuals. And nothing against them, but now I thought like, that's what they gonna do. Didn't want to be compromised. And you know what type of individual I am? I said to myself, all of them didn't do that to me. They don't deserve that. And so I still took pictures with homosexual people when they wanted to take a picture with me. Because that's the type of heart I got. I ain't gonna stop being me because somebody decided to be evil. That's gonna come back on them. That's gonna come back on them. That's gonna come back on them.
How many lives are you gonna ruin? I repeat, how many lives are you gonna ruin? I hope Chingy's voice keeps you up at night.
You destroyed his life.
No!
For fun. You destroyed his life. You destroyed his life. You destroyed his life. You destroyed his life.
For those of you who do not know what's going on, Sydney Starr is a reality TV star. She's been on Baddies, Love and Hip Hop, Now That's TV, Network, and so on and so forth. But I know Sydney as Reese from the Maury Show.
Reese, please step forward, Reese.
This is what the audience thought of Reese during the show.
That's a woman? Yeah, that's a woman! Yeah, that's a woman!
You know something? Later on in the show, if that ends up being a man, you're going to look silly.
I don't know. That's a woman. I hope that's a woman. I hope that's a woman.
You want it to be a woman. Okay. You know, we have some great news. Reese has just won an award for her amazing acting skills, but in her acceptance speech lies her true gender.
Don't let me go and say I'm so nervous right now. But I would like to thank Mari and the producers for this amazing opportunity. I would like to thank my family and my friends for being so supportive throughout this incredible journey. But most importantly, I would like to thank God that He made me. Oh boy!
Sydney Starr is a reality TV star. She represents the trans women. She is a trans woman. But again, I know her from the Maury Show. I know her from the episodes where they would go, is this a woman or is this a man? And they would have them come out and model, things of that nature. So apparently Sydney Starr has been accused of sex assaulting a minor. Oh, my chest hurting just recording this video. I can't believe it. I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed because, you know, trans women have it hard as it is, especially a Black trans woman. And trying to get into the industry, trying to make a name for yourself, trying to be representation for the trans community. And Sydney Starr was one of those women that was able to do that. Now, with that being said, she did it in one of the worst ways possible. And I'm going to mention this because it shows a character flaw, right? It shows character traits. Sydney Starr, we know her for outing Chingy and saying that they were in a relationship, and she admitted that she did this for fame. People were in her ear like, hey, you got to do something with this picture with Chingy because you don't have any fame. You're not going to get any notoriety. You need to do something. So people in her ear convinced her to lie about a 2-year relationship with Chingy. That never happened.
Somebody took a picture of me being nice to a fan who came up and was excited to meet me and saying how much of a fan they was and just wanted a picture because they love my music and stuff. And I took the picture. And they based the 2-year relationship lying off of that.
You destroyed his life.
No,
For fun.
Adam, no,
Yeah,
I
you did.
didn't. I'm going to be real. I was young. I was 19. I was a backup dancer. I was working for a show that was with Shauna the rapper. Chingy opened up for one of the shows. I always had a big crush on Chingy, so I wanted to get a picture. He was very welcoming. People were in my ear saying, Sid, you got to do something with this because you're a trans woman. They're not going to pay no attention to you. This was, mind you, 2010. Trans women were not being looked at for anything.
I was finna stop taking pictures with homosexual individuals. And nothing against them, but now I thought like, that's what they gonna do. Didn't want to be compromised at all.
No one was talking about Chingy at that time. I actually made the world start talking about him again. But I became a warm-hearted, good person in my soul. I apologized. I tried to make things right.
But then you know what type of individual I am? I said to myself, all of them didn't do that to me. They don't deserve that. And so I still took pictures with homosexual people when they wanted to take a picture with me. Because that's the type of heart I got. I ain't gonna stop being me because somebody decided to be evil. That's gonna come back on them.
How did you deal with that?
My main thing was I'm thinking like, ain't nobody gonna believe that. I ain't getting nobody no reason to believe nothing like that.
Right.
But I think a lot of people wanted it to be true because it was outlets that was talking about it and talking to that individual. And I ain't never heard nobody be like, well, let's get Chingy on the phone. Let's call up Chingy. These are radio personality people that I done hung out with, that I knew. So I was like, why ain't none of these people call me up to see my take on this? I was really hurting inside because all I ever had growing up was my music. If you know me, you knew when I was in first grade, I just sat in there writing raps. So that's all I ever had was my music. That was the goal. And eventually the individual told the truth, it came out. Now, by the time they told the truth, it came out, damage done. It's pretty much over with today, for real, for real.
But you still have somebody
But you still got
trying
somebody to
dig
say
at
something.
you.
But the damage was done. I had a MasterCard, credit card deal, like with my own MasterCards. I was finna sign to Interscope. I was on LA on yachts and shit, eating fruit with these people, talking about album deals. And I had a lot going on at that time. Boy, when that hit, gone.
Now, years later, Sydney Starr, I'm also going to clip that in the video. Sydney Starr tries to say, you know, you guys can't blame me for what happened to Chingy. I'm tired of you guys blaming me for what happened to Chingy. Someone else outed Chingy before I did, blah, 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 so on and so forth. Sydney, we don't know that person that outed Chingy before you did. We don't know that person. We only know you. We only know you. You ruined this man's career. He had bank deals. He had endorsement deals. He was supposed to have a deal with Capital One, I believe. Like, he had record deals coming up. He had things going for himself. Who knows what movie appearances or show appearances he would have been doing. He had his whole career and his whole life ahead of him. And you ruined his career for fame and fortune. Literally soul swapped with Chingy. Now you're the one doing appearances. Now you're the one making the money. Now you're the one with the fame. I have nieces and nephews that don't even know who a Chingy is, but they know who you are. So you literally soul swapped with this man. And I honestly believe it shows character flaws. Another character flaw you have before I get into what we're here about as far as this child. The Winslow guy, Family Matters, you also tried to ruin his career. Now, granted, he was lying and he shouldn't have been doing OnlyFans with you just to turn around and try and convince people that you had your surgery and you had your penis removed, things of that nature, just to try and turn around and convince people that he's not gay.
Goodness, you've had your surgery.
We're good to go.
Wait. What surgery?
Adam, I had the surgery.
The dick is gone?
It's gone now.
Shut up. What'd you do with it? Can I have it?
It's, you might have to ask the doctors. Someone paid for it.
Who? You paid for the surgery?
Yep.
That's neither here nor there, but the fact of the matter is you still tried to out him. You still tried to make it seem like he wanted a relationship with you, things of that nature, knowing that this man did not want a relationship with you. He just wanted a little bit of clout.
Things that she said, I let it go because I was trying to save a relationship between Ray J and myself. And I'm going to come out and just tell the truth. Sydney, you have one chance to speak your piece. You lied about everything. And if you people notice, I did not say anything. Nothing's wrong. Everything is right, guys. I want you guys to support me, to continue supporting me. No, we were not in a relationship. Sydney was lying. Tell everybody she's a liar. I don't mess with Sydney. Sydney tried to mess with my career. Let's get one thing straight, y'all. Who sacrificed for not only me and my family, but for you guys too. Y'all understand? It's a sacrifice. And yes, I am friends with so many beautiful people of the LGBTQ, IA, LMNOP community. I love everybody. Darius, the friend of everyone. That's who I am. But you can't lie on people like that. And we're going to talk about it. Yeah. Sydney was my friend, Notice I said was my friend. This game, okay, about how, listen, how they try to make us all play this game with this auditioning process, which is, it's 100 years old and the game has changed and it's bullshit. It's bullshit, especially when it comes to black actors, because we all have something different and it's all something special. You can't even, like, that's why certain roles that like Morris Chestnut is in, you couldn't see anybody in the role. My role that you see me in, the roles that I play, nobody else can do them because I do something special in that role. Okay? And shout out to the LGBTQ community. Shout out to Black Power, Black Lives Matter, All Lives Matter. I love everybody. I'm the friend of everybody. Yeah, that's right. Pride. It's awesome. It's cool. Listen, Sydney Starr lied. Okay?
And that might be a bad example, but I'm just saying, like, the stories are stacking up. There's always someone whom you've harmed or, you know, whether you dragged them through the mud or just lied on them, there's always someone being harmed behind Sydney Starr. So there had already been rumors circulating that Sydney Starr had been messing with minors because of her OnlyFans. A few people were complaining that when they would watch the OnlyFans, they would see young people up there. I'm going to try and find clips of this. I heard people talking about it, but I didn't get any direct clips of people saying, hey, I watched Sydney Starr's OnlyFans. I just saw people reporting on it like me, and they said they saw people saying that they saw Sydney Starr's OnlyFans, and she had, you know, what appeared to be allegedly minors on her OnlyFans. But what I did find was multiple videos of Sydney Starr dancing with children. And you guys can be the judge of it. You guys can go in the comments and let me know if you guys think these kids are minors. They look like minors to me. They don't look like, you know what I mean? I have friends that are 25. You know, they don't look 25 and up. They look like minors to me. I have one video of Sydney Starr dancing with young ladies, and I have another video of Sydney Starr dancing with young men. And in both videos, it looks like Sydney Starr is with minors. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I don't chill with minors. I don't chill with minors. I barely chill with people under the age of 25. Respectfully. But if I am going to chill with someone, they have to be at least 21 years of age. The only time I've been around people that were under the age of 21 is because they worked under me at my job. Respectfully. Like, and I don't even mean to say under me, I was their manager or so on and so forth. But that is the only time you'll catch me around like a really super young person. Like, no, we're not doing that. So I just find it interesting that this big grown trans woman is always around young people. Where are you finding these kids from? Where are you finding these young people from? So I'm going to clip those videos of Sydney Starr dancing in the videos with the kids or the alleged kids. And
They said sit on his lap. Don't even try me because I would. I'm sitting next to such a hot YN, I start to sweat. I appreciate you. Sweating.
Oh my god.
so fast forward, getting into the allegations. The first story that came out, it was a 16-year-old. Apparently, Sydney Starr saw him playing football. And they actually worded it and said that Sydney Starr was stalking this young man and his friend. They tapped their phones together, exchanged information. Sydney Starr lured the child back to the hotel room. The child at the time assumed that Sydney was a female. And I will admit, all of Sydney Starr's life, Sydney does look like a female. If I'm being honest, Sydney hasn't really looked a little masculine until she's gotten in her older years or whatever. And I can see how that could fool a child, a 16-year-old. And we're going to get into the ages. So many levels and layers to this. We'll get into the ages in a second. I'm saying all of this to say I can understand how a child can be confused and think that he's tapping phones with another woman. Either way, it's predatory behavior, whether the person is female or male. You're not supposed to be tapping phones or exchanging information with anybody under the age of 21, period. That's just how I feel. So tap phones with the child. The way to get to Sydney's room, you have to have a specific key just to be on that floor. The child, of course, doesn't have this key. Sydney has this key. So Sydney literally lured this child onto this floor, and the child had no way of escaping because they didn't even have the key to change the elevator floor or to alter anything. Even when he was on the elevator with Sydney, he said he couldn't press another button because you needed that key to specifically, let's say Sydney was on the 7th floor. 7 is my favorite number. Let's say Sydney was on the 7th floor. You needed the key to get to the 7th floor. So the child had no way of pressing another button to get away. And at this point, I don't think the child knew that Sydney was born male until they got back to the room. Apparently, the child was fighting for their life. I heard rumors that the child was anywhere between the ages of 13. Then I heard 15. Now I'm hearing 16. I'm going to go with the news clip said. I think the news clip said 16. I'm going to watch it again. I'm actually going to put it in this video so you guys can watch it. But at this point, we're playing semantics, right? Does it really matter whether the child was 13, 14, 15, 16? Either way, it's disgusting. Either way, it's wrong. Either way, it's illegal. So I also heard stories about how the child was hiding up under the bed. I don't know how true that is. But the end of the story was Sydney wrestling with the child or fighting with the child, and then the child got away. Sydney hits the floor and goes to grab the young man's ankle and was like, please don't tell. I'll give you $40. Please don't tell. It's like, where do I start? You know, who let this 13-year-old child go in a hotel room with Sydney? I mean, hotels don't check whether you're their parent or not. Like, how was he able to be snuck into Sydney's room as a 13-year-old minor? Like, no one peeped that. No one saw this minor going with this trans woman to her room. No one saw this. Like, I don't understand.
In this story are disturbing, and I just want to say that before we get into it. Reality TV personality Sydney Starr is behind bars in Fulton County, facing severe felony charges involving a minor. Hapeville police arrested the model and television personality whose legal name is Sydney Favors on Sunday at the Embassy Suites on International Boulevard. Police say Favors is charged with sodomy, sexual battery against a child under 16, and aggravated child molestation. Starr, known for her appearances on reality and drama series including Baddies and Empire, remains held in custody at the Fulton County Jail. Investigators confirmed that the case has now been handed over to the Fulton County District Attorney's Office for prosecution, and due to the victim's age, police say that no additional details will be released regarding the case at this time.
So folks are obviously looking at a picture that a Fox 5 Atlanta viewer had sent to us from, it looks like, is this one from when she was arrested?
Yes, this is from her arrest on Sunday at the Embassy Suites. We were, one of our viewers sent us this picture and sent us a little bit about the investigation. And so we reached out to Hapeville police after that and got confirmation of her arrest.
Yeah.
And furthermore, I hear that Sydney Starr may be facing 25 years to life for these charges. These are serious charges, guys. Like, I'm going to put a clip in here. A young lady is breaking down all of the charges, but these are serious charges, serious accusations.
And the maximum sentence on these charges is life. Yeah, that's because of that middle charge right there. I don't think I can say it online, but you see it. So yeah, first of all these charges are extremely serious, but that middle one, that's the one. The maximum is life, and the mandatory minimum is 25 years in prison. Not 25 years on paper, not 25 years on probation, 25 years in prison. Sydney Favors, aka Sydney Starr. I hate that this is my introduction to you, but I know a lot of people, your friends, your family, and people all over social media are talking about this and probably wondering what could happen if you're convicted of something like this. So yes, these are very serious charges with very serious consequences if you're found guilty. Also, I wanted to address the fact that you were denied bond today. That's normal. The judge by law actually cannot grant you bond with this particular fact pattern, okay? But you will have another chance to ask another judge, a Fulton County Superior Court judge, for a bond later on. But for now, you're going to remain in custody. Your attorney is going to petition another judge to hear your application for a bond, and you'll go from there. But yeah, I know a lot of people were wondering what's going on with this. Some of y'all might have been like, oh, it's serious, but not that serious. It's extremely serious. life in prison serious if found guilty.
I'm also gonna add some clips in here. I think her name is Akasha, another trans woman that was basically saying, please don't blame the entire community. Although people are gonna do that anyway. They do the same thing with just us black folks in general. Anything that black people do, they will make it monolithic. They will make it a monolith. We all do it. We all do it. They'll lump us up all together, you know? And even within our own community, we do it, right? But in this situation, you know, I just hope we all treat this as a one-off situation. All trans women are not walking around here looking at kids.
That's too much. That is too much. And then, like, we finna get bashed for this in a hole. Like, the trans girls is finna get bashed for this in a hole. Like, because that's just how people do. They already got us boxed off somewhere, like in the corner. And then they already make these type of allegations and say this type of stuff. So for it to be like, for somebody to go and do this, if they did this, it's crazy. Why girls think it's so funny, and girls think it's like I don't know what people be like, what they mind be at. But I think for like in the overall, and like they finna like try to use this against us.
I was watching another video of a trans woman saying that we don't even go after the kids, we go after the old dudes, and that's actually true. I know plenty of people in the community, whether they're trans women or not, they usually go after the older people because that's who got the money. Let's keep it all the way 100. Like, trans women are not just out here dating children, you know? That's not a thing. And we're not going to make it a thing. And I'm not trying to be funny, but trans women getting up here saying that, oh, you guys are just going to accuse all of us, and you guys are going to lump all of us up. At first, it brought me to tears. I'm not going to lie. But after saying it about 20 times, it's like, no. No, because sometimes when we speak things into existence, it becomes true, right? We're not even going to paint that narrative to then judge all trans women alike. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. It's not happening. So I would just, my advice to the trans women, specifically in the black community, don't assume that everyone is going to blame all trans women for this, because you guys don't deserve that whatsoever. All trans women don't hurt children. You know, we're not going to make that a thing. You know what I mean? It is unfortunately going to affect trans women. Deflect all of the anger and all of the attention back to this hoe. We are not about to generalize and throw everybody under the monolith umbrella. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. And I'm just so deeply hurt by this because this is about to affect so many people's lives. I'm so sorry for that child that's traumatized for the rest of his life, you know. Hopefully, the child take this as a learning lesson and don't go with strangers into hotel rooms anymore. And I'm not victim blaming whatsoever. So don't get in my comments saying that I'm victim blaming. I'm just saying this is a learning lesson to stay diligent, to stay safe, to keep your head on a swivel, and not to go into hotel rooms with strange people. Sydney, we were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. And you failed us. You failed us as a black person. You failed us as a trans person. You failed us as a public figure. I hope they throw the book at your ass. I hope to never see you on my television screen again. I'm sorry, but I can't get with hurting children. And it's so sad. I was so excited to see you back on my TV screen. I was so happy to see that Zeus gave you another opportunity to host the Bad Boys reunion, and then this happens. And to that child, I'm so sorry that you're traumatized for the rest of your life. I hope that you find therapy and healing after this. And I just hope everyone in this situation could find some type of light at the end of the tunnel, because it's very grim right now. Like, all of this is very grim. And I'm so sorry to all of the trans women who is being affected and will be affected by this. And I just don't want us to verbally perpetuate that, you know? If you made it to the end of the video, please like, comment, subscribe, share if you were here. Have a great day, guys.